Listen up, hockey fans. You're in the right place. A no-hold-barred debate between two hockey fans. Stay up to date on current issues in the NHL, even the controversial ones. Welcome to The Debate Hockey Podcast with your host, Brad Burud.
The start out for Philadelphia. Provorov crosses through center, gets in over the line, tries to drag the puck and does. Goes to the net, scores! Ivan Provorov, the overtime winner.
They lose the face-off. They lose possession.
Ivan Provorov. Wow.
What a goal that was. Beauty, you know.
Oof.
Just saw him attacking that lone forward back there, Max Domi, which is what you're always taught is to attack the forward who's covering for the defense, and what a move through the legs, and had an even nicer finish there.
Wow. Beauty. Episode 82 of the Debate Hockey Podcast. That is my partner, Blake Friars. I am Brad Burud. It is December 2nd, 2019. And what do we have tonight?
Did you think 2019 kind of flew by? Can't believe it's already December.
Doesn't every year fly by now?
I know. It's
like the older
crazy.
you get, the quicker things go.
I know. It's crazy.
And we live in a lifestyle that's jacked now. Because we take on so much stuff. And
society.
I'll get going on that in a minute here.
It's a joke.
Back from Brandon. Went up to Brandon last week and watched some WHL hockey. Now this week we spent the week Thanksgiving in the States. So some time off there. Some time with family.
Yeah.
Time for Christmas prep as I got the house.
Got all the gifts bought yet?
I have no gifts.
Haven't even started,
I have no gifts bought, but I got the Christmas decorations up.
Father of the year there.
Actually had a really, really nice 4-day weekend. I spent a lot of time with my family. We went to junior hockey games as a family.
Toros?
Watched.
Did you go watch that 11-4 beating?
I did.
Oof.
Watched a lot. I watched some football yesterday, actually, and I don't usually do that, but I spent some time watching football.
What game did you watch?
I watched a little bit of the Green Bay game in the snow.
Did you watch...
Saturday, I watched the Wisconsin-Minnesota football game. That was good.
Yeah, I thought Minnesota would have had a better fight. I watched a little bit of that one, too.
I'm not.
Did you watch any of that San Francisco-Baltimore game?
I did not.
Oof. That might be a potential Super Bowl matchup.
I might watch a little bit of the Vikings Seahawks here when I get home tonight.
Monday Night Football?
Yeah, I got to pay some bills and do that kind of stuff. And I watched a little hockey on TV this weekend, too.
Yeah, I actually had a chance when I was at home to sit and, because I had a week off and went back home. I had a chance to just, relax, spend some time with family too. And I watched a ton of hockey. Like I watched Wednesday night hockey. They had a Thursday night hockey. Watched all 3 triple header on Saturday night, and I watched the 2 games last night, Boston, Montreal, and Vancouver, Edmonton last night.
I watched a little bit of the Vancouver-Edmonton game last night. I watched a little bit of the Montreal game, not as much of that one. I don't know. I was kind of burnt out last night, and I just kind of needed to get to bed, and I just wanted to start the week off right, so I didn't stay up till all hours of the night last night, which I probably should have because there were some good hockey games last night.
Yeah.
Today on the show, we are going to talk coaching chaos, talk a little bit about Babcock and Peters, and then we'll talk about the Thanksgiving playoff marker. And it's always been kind of set as a marker stone, I guess you'd say, where most often the playoffs picture doesn't change a ton from Thanksgiving. Then we'll go around the league, talk a little Taylor Hall, Robin Lehner, Price and the sinking Habs, Cody Ceci's comments. That was interesting.
Yeah.
Keller's crash into the net, which didn't look like it felt too good. And Puljujarvi is ineligible now. And
Honka, too.
Thank God we can quit talking about that.
Yeah.
I'm tired of that.
Yeah.
Make sure you check out our sponsor, UBGM, coming out soon. Play for pride, not for money. Hey, hockey fans, are you ready for UBGM.com? A brand new daily fantasy hockey app designed and built for hockey fans by hockey fans. Do you have ideas that would make your daily fantasy hockey experience better? Sign up as a VIP at UBGM.com/the debate. Add your voice to the growing community of UBGMers. You'll get a sneak peek at the app, plus an opportunity to tell us what you like and what you want more of from daily fantasy hockey. Join us today at ubgm.com/the debate. UBGM, we love hockey. All right, Blake, we're going to get this coaching garbage out of the way right away.
Yeah.
I do another Flames podcast called Flames Unfiltered, and quite honestly, I'm so sick and tired of talking about
Bill Peters,
off ice stuff. I want to talk about on ice stuff, so we're going to roll through this and talk a little Babcock and a little Peters. Which one do you want to talk about first? I'll let you decide.
We can talk about Babcock first. I mean, that was the first domino to fall kind of thing.
Domino to fall, it didn't fall.
I mean, like, of the coaches getting fired. I mean, like,
didn't get fired.
Well, yeah, he did.
Yeah, not for that.
I know, but
why didn't he get fired for that? You want to know why?
Are you talking the Franzen?
No. I want to know why I didn't get fired for the Mitch Marner thing. Why?
It's tough to say. I mean, I honestly don't have an answer for you.
Well, because Toronto management didn't want to touch Babcock.
Yeah, the thing is, like, Babcock and Dubas, they say they had a good relationship, but I really don't think they did.
So why didn't this get dealt with?
Yeah, Babcock and his ego, man. I don't know.
So what happened was Mitch Marner.
I've never seen something like that before.
It came out that Mitch Marner, and you can fill in the details that I leave out because Mitch Marner has stated that Babcock had him rate the players on his own team in order of how hard they worked. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Or work ethic. And then
from worst to the greatest.
Yeah, whatever.
And then Babcock went on and he listed them in front of the team.
And said that this is how Mitch feels.
Yeah.
Which, whatever. I mean, if Mitch didn't like it, Mitch could have stood up and said, "Kiss my ass, I'm out of here," and not resign.
Well, the thing is, he's a rookie in the league. You're not going to tell your coach.
No, I know, and I'm not condoning the behavior.
Yeah.
But we've talked about, it's not like he made him, it's not like a hazing incident, but it's probably disrespectful.
It's kind of borderline like Bush.
Yeah, but Babcock's whole career has been borderline Bush.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, he's known to play mind games.
Yeah, I mean, all coaches play damn mind games. So.
I know, but not anymore. They won't be able to.
I don't know. It depends. You just can't cross the line. I mean, what is the line, though? I don't know.
That's what I'm asking. What's the line?
I mean, the line was drawn with Bill Peters. Clearly.
When?
Clearly.
When?
When he resigned. I mean,
Wait a minute. What about when the incident happened?
You see, that's the thing that really confuses me.
Because the Chicago Blackhawks are in charge of that team.
Well, the Rockford Ice Hawks.
So why did they not deal with it?
Well, the thing is,
because Bill Peters apologized at that time.
Yeah, did he?
Yes.
I don't know. Did you see the ex-owner and the ex-GM of the Carolina Hurricanes? Did you see their two
conflicting statements?
One said
Francis said it was.
The owner said that he would have been fired.
Francis brought it to the management, and now last week the management said that we knew nothing about it.
Yeah, so that really confused me a lot. I don't know who to believe there.
It was dealt with back then too.
Yeah, I would probably believe Ron Francis.
Absolutely,
something like that.
Because what does Ron Francis have to lose?
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, he's the new GM of Seattle right now. The thing is about that is when you have conflicting reports about a serious situation like that, like player abuse. I mean,
what's abuse?
He said he kicked him.
I'm not condoning his actions. I'm asking you questions. Where's the line going to be? I've got a video of Peter Laviolette punching a player on the bench in the head, side of the head.
There's going to be so many players that come out and speak out now that Akeem Alou was the first domino to fall with this, and you're going to be, and then you saw.
So should Bill Peters have been fired
for what he did in Carolina?
No, for what he did while coaching the Calgary Flames. I
mean, yes and no. I mean, probably not, because it happened 10 years ago. But at the end of the day, his comments, they have no place in the game for stuff like that.
But did he comment? Did he direct him to him?
No, he didn't.
So
He
wait a
didn't
second.
direct it to
So
him.
here's my question.
It's just a really shitty situation for everybody involved.
So he died on the sword for everybody. He's a sacrificial lamb.
The thing is, the person who I feel the worst for is Brad Treliving, because this didn't happen on his watch. I mean,
No.
Calgary.
You don't feel bad for Bill Peters at all?
They got thrown. Well, he said it though.
He apologized back then for it.
Did he though? Because Akeem Alou said he didn't apologize.
You think Akeem Alou, the guy who went and got Colin Kaepernick's lawyer, we're going to hear the truth from?
I don't know.
There's other reports that Bill Peters apologized for it, and it was dealt with by the Rockford, who's it was owned by the Chicago Blackhawks. Yeah. So obviously, if it was serious enough, the Chicago Blackhawks dealt with it. So are the Blackhawks going to get in trouble now?
I was curious that the Blackhawks didn't come out with a statement. I mean, Carolina came out with a statement.
Okay, so let me ask you this.
Or the Rockford Ice Hogs, they could have come out with a statement.
So let me ask you this. So if one of the TSN reporters, I'm just using them as an example, says a racial slur, is there a press release on that?
Most likely not.
Is it okay? So here, let's back this up. I'm not condoning what he said. I don't think it's right. But I also think that it was dealt with 10 years ago, and it shouldn't affect his job now. But that word is
I
said...
got a question. Is that word okay to be said 10 years ago than it is today?
No. I don't think so.
Then, I mean, what are we talking about?
But that word is said over hundreds of times in an NBA game on the court and 100 times in an NFL football game on the field.
Well, and the NFL actually did crack down on it. You actually get kicked out.
Have you ever heard of anybody getting kicked out for saying the N-word?
There was actually one time.
Okay, so let me ask you this question. Let's dig this a little deeper. What happens the next time a player says a racial slur?
You're digging a big can of worms here. I don't know.
Nothing. Because will he be banned from the league like Bill Peters?
Yeah, I don't think Bill Peters is going to coach another game in the NHL.
No. So let's say I'm just using players hypothetically. Let's say pick a guy. Connor McDavid. Okay, want me to pick a different guy?
What are you going with?
What if he in anger says a racial slur?
He probably gets suspended.
For life?
No, I don't know.
So what's the difference? Why does one man's profession and loss of his profession okay, but a player's isn't? And I'll guarantee you that if that happens, the goddamn Players Association will flip shit and never allow a player to be suspended for life. Never, ever, ever. And by my comments saying that, I'm not saying that the comments are okay to say. I'm just saying that I want to know why Bill Peters won't coach again in the NHL. But if a player says it next week, he'll get suspended, but that's all.
Yeah, it's definitely a situation. It's definitely something that's going to be brought up in the CBA.
How can you bring this up in the CBA?
No, like they're gonna talk about it. So because this is a big issue in the league right now.
It's very isolated. I would say that I bet you $100 that this happens in everyday life. This is a big thing in life.
Yeah, I mean, racism. Is that racism in general? I mean, it's not as bad as it once was. I mean,
what about reverse racism?
Yeah.
What if Bill Peters walked in the locker room and said, "Turn that honky shit off. I'm tired of country music." Does he get fired?
No.
Well, honky is a derogatory word for a white person. I'm serious, Blake.
Now you're just being Jessica Allen right now.
No. Oh, God, give me a break. I'm serious, though. What is the difference? Derogatory is derogatory.
No difference.
Okay, so then here's another thing. Does Mike Babcock coach another game in the NHL?
For what did he do with Mitch Marner?
How about Johan Franzen?
Yeah, I read that.
Abuse is abuse, right?
Yeah.
Whether it's racial,
Physical,
sexual,
yeah.
physical, it's abuse,
mental
right?
abuse, yeah.
So is Mike Babcock banned from the league? No, you don't want to know why Mike Babcock won't be banned from the league? Because his name's Mike Babcock. Bill Peters? Who gives a shit? Have a nice day, Bill.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I am.
I don't know about that.
Okay, let me ask you.
You think if Bill Peters?
So let me ask you this question.
Do you think if Bill Peters had the 5th most wins of all time, you don't think he gets banned for life? Are you serious? Did you actually just say that?
I don't know.
Really? Are you, really?
I would bet
the same situation happened to Bill Peters if he he was a top coach in the NHL. You don't think he would
I would be willing to bet. I'd be willing to stake anything that Bill Peters isn't even. There's at least 10 other coaches that have said abusive comments.
I mean, it's part of the game. It's all
whoa.
Like
abusive comments. I guarantee you.
You ask any NHL player if they've been yelled at, sworn at. Mm-hmm. They're all going to say yeah.
Yeah.
But no, they haven't been called the N-word.
I'll go as far as saying I guarantee you he's not the only coach to ever say the N-word in his lifetime.
Probably not.
I guarantee you right now.
But did those players speak up? Nope. Sure didn't.
Oh, so squeaky wheel gets the grease?
A player actually had the balls to go out publicly with this, and now that's what happens. This is the.
Okay, so what happens?
We're going to see more of this.
So,
this is a trickle down effect. Lots of people are going to come out because the ice is broken with this.
We won't see more fires over it, I bet.
Well,
bet you we won't.
A trainer in the Western Hockey League just got fired for derogatory comments this morning. So you're seeing it in junior hockey now. So we'll see. Next topic. We're done with this conversation now. There's not much more to talk about.
Because I'm right. A player will never be suspended for life for it.
There's not much more to talk
Blake,
about.
You know what? You know I'm right. You know I'm right.
I know.
Because a player can, and I'm not saying it's right. I'm not saying what Bill Peters did was right. But I guarantee you right now, if a general manager says it, he's gone for life. A coach says it, he's gone for life. An official says it, he's gone for life. A player says it, he's gone for 2 games.
2?
Unless he's Brad Marchand, he might get suspended for longer. Tom Wilson would get suspended for longer.
Be same standard.
You are so full of shit.
Same standard.
You are so full of shit.
Saying.
Okay. I guarantee more of these stories are going to come out, and I guarantee more coaches won't get fired.
Stay tuned.
Just watch.
Stay tuned.
Just watch. You want to talk about Babcock some more, or what do you want to talk about Peters some more, or what do you want to talk about?
Talk about.
Is this topic really dead?
Let's talk about predictions.
Is the topic really dead?
It is. Sure is.
Okay.
Predictions?
Sure.
We want to start with East or West?
Let's
start in the East. Because that's...
okay, let's start in the East. Because Blake doesn't like the East.
I'm just like, get the East out of the way.
I'm more West, too.
Talk about more of the West, you know?
Okay. Let's look at them. Now, Thanksgiving has always been a marker stone for the likelihood of teams being in the playoffs and not being in the playoffs. Let's take a look at each division and kind of talk about who is going to get in, who's not.
Yeah.
I would say in the Metro. Let's talk Metro first.
Okay.
I think Washington's a guarantee.
Yeah.
Because right now, currently in the Metro, we have
4 playoff teams.
5.
Yeah, 5, yeah.
We have Washington, New York Islanders, Philadelphia, Carolina, and Pittsburgh hold wild cards. The Rangers are out by 3 points.
Yeah.
Columbus is out by 6 points.
They're done.
And New Jersey's out by 10.
Mm-hmm.
So, that being said, my standings are close to perfect. Yours are my predictions.
Yeah.
Yours are really bad.
Not really bad.
You have Washington, Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Then you have New Jersey.
Yeah.
That's really bad.
Yeah, no, I mean, that was my...
Then you have the Islanders. Okay. Then you have the Rangers. And then you have Carolina and Philadelphia at the end. And that's not really the way it's going.
Well, I mean,
So let's talk about which... I'm not going to rip you on your predictions.
No, I know.
Let's talk about which ones of those 5 that are currently holding those spots are guarantees.
Just in the Metro, you said?
Yeah.
I would think, well, right now, my only guarantee is Washington.
Me too.
I'm not ready to...
I have high likelihood of the Islanders
I'm
and the
not
Penguins.
ready to guarantee Pittsburgh or the Islanders yet.
Okay, but I will look at this, though, and I look and I say it. The Rangers have no shot.
No.
The Columbus has no shot,
No.
and New Jersey has no shot
No.
of pushing their way in.
No.
The other ones are kind of in the murky middle. Now, let's look at the Atlantic quickly. And they only have 3 teams in, and that's Boston,
Yeah.
Florida, and Toronto.
Yeah.
Sitting on the outside, we got Buffalo, Montreal, Tampa Bay, Ottawa, and Detroit. Now, I think Ottawa and Detroit are gonzo.
Yep. Yep.
I think guaranteed is Boston.
Yes. I would agree. That's it.
That's it.
That's it.
That's it.
But
I think Buffalo's guaranteed out. Is that terrible of me to say?
yeah, no, I mean, they just can't string wins together.
I don't think Montreal's making it.
I think Montreal's going to make it. I'll tell you why here in a second when we talk about Carey Price.
Okay.
Tampa Bay is going to figure it out.
I know.
Eventually, they'll figure it out. And
They're only 3 back.
yeah, and this at the end of the day, this division's they're going to flip flop. There's going to be 5 from the Atlantic and 3 from the Metro.
I don't think so.
At the end of the day, because at the end of the day, Tampa's going to figure it out. Montreal's going to figure it out. Toronto, Florida, and Boston are going to make the playoffs.
Montreal better figure out a lot more than their goaltending.
It's not just the goaltending, though.
That's what I'm saying.
Like,
they got a lot to figure out.
Yeah, we'll talk about that later. What do you want to talk about next?
So we only have 2 teams in the East that we think are deadlocks.
Yeah.
I would agree.
Yeah.
I think there's a high likelihood that Florida,
And the Islanders make it.
Toronto,
Yeah.
the Islanders, I even think Philly is a high likelihood. How do you not? They're +7. They're 8-1-4 at home. I mean, we got a pretty good sample size here.
Yeah, no, it's
27 games is a pretty healthy sample size.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see if they can continue to get that depth scoring. I expected a lot more from Kevin Hayes after signing that big ticket. I mean,
I've always thought he's overrated.
I was reading an article and it said points aren't everything. I just went, whoa. When you're making $7.4 million, points are everything.
You know what's one team, though, when you look at this conference that I just think is just unstoppable? And that's Boston. Do you know that Boston's tracking higher than Tampa Bay had for points last year?
Yeah, well, I mean, when you got David Pastrnak with 27 damn goals in 25 games, it's crazy.
The guy's amazing.
Knocked it off the dasher, set it up for his team. Pastrnak by 1. Pastrnak fed it over. Krejci scores! They've done it again in overtime.
This Boston team's scary good.
Yeah, you know.
Do you feel they're the best team in hockey right now?
Yeah, I do.
I do too.
I do, but Colorado is right there now that they're getting healthy again. They're going to be right there.
We're going to see. I like Colorado too.
But boy, you know, is it crazy to say that David Pastrnak might have 50 and 50?
Very good likelihood.
Is that crazy talk?
No.
He's got 27 goals in 25 games right now.
Do you think it's crazy? I think there's a good likelihood.
I didn't think I'd ever see that in hockey again.
I didn't either.
Like, and if I was to put my money on a guy, I'd probably say Alex Ovechkin.
You know, I was talking to another guy about Boston yesterday. And
the thing is, though,
I was talking to a buddy of mine who's got a podcast called Frozen Biscuit that's good. You should check it out. It's an Ottawa Senators podcast. Anyways, him and I were talking, and he was telling me, we were talking about Boston and how Pasternak's been so good, and that core group is so powerful. Mm-hmm. But then we got onto their goaltending. That goaltending crew is off the charts.
Well, Tuukka Rask is finally figuring it out.
Well, and you don't, but see.
And Yaro Halak's a great backup.
Well, and you know what? I don't think there's anybody in that locker room that even flinches when either one of them's called upon to play goal.
No, absolutely not. I mean, they have 1A, 1B. That's what it is. And they've had a good goaltending tandem. Even when they had Anton Khudobin, they had a good goaltending tandem. And Boston, I really kind of thought they would take a step back because they are kind of. I had them fifth.
Should we? I had them second.
I had them fifth, making the wild. I'm fourth or fifth, making that wild card.
You're them in the final wild card. I did not. Why did you think they'd take a step back?
Well, but they're an aging core. I didn't think Pastrnak would be this good this year. I don't think anybody did. I don't think
he was good last year.
He was good, but he wasn't this good. He wasn't this good. I mean, that top line. They're just dynamic. I mean, Marchand, love him or hate him, the guy is an unbelievable hockey player. And, obviously he's bullshit and antics and stuff like that. But, that's one of the best lines in hockey, but nobody expected to get this much production from Pastrnak. I mean, it's just off the charts crazy.
I'm with you. He makes you shake your head on a nightly basis.
McAvoy's also taken a big step on the back end too. He's been solid for them.
I'm not as huge on him.
I like him. I like him a lot. I like that. I like that Grizzlick too.
Yeah,
he moves the puck good. He's quick. Young skater.
Do you notice that Boston's like masterful at like
finding good defensemen?
Well, just finding good talent.
Yeah,
like they make everybody look good.
Yeah. No, they do.
They don't. Yeah,
they're good at drafting. Really good at drafting.
Okay, now let's move on to the West and let's talk the Central first.
Sure.
And right now in the Central, let's take a look at where we stand for who's in and who's out. In the Central, we have 4 teams.
Yeah.
Currently sitting in a playoff spot. And let's roll through those. First is St. Louis, Colorado second, Winnipeg third, Dallas holds that final wild card spot. Nashville sits 5 out, Minnesota's 5 out, Chicago's 8 out. Yeah, 8.
Yeah.
Gal. Now let's look at our predictions quickly. We're not going to dwell on predictions a ton here, but I had Colorado, St. Louis, Nashville, Winnipeg, Dallas, 5 from that getting wild cards. Not too far off from that right now.
Mm-hmm.
You had, I think, pretty similar to that. You had we both probably got Nashville. You had Chicago though, getting a wild card. That's shit. That ain't happening.
Yeah, I mean, I thought they would take a step forward. I mean, I like their goaltending tandem. I mean, with Lehner and Crawford, but I mean, they dug themselves a huge hole. I mean, did you know that they were 1-8
tonight? They're only playing with 19 players because they can't call anybody up because they don't have cap space.
Yeah.
They're not going to be the only team this year that deals with that. Yeah. I promise you that.
Yeah.
So guarantees. Who's getting in guaranteed?
I got 3 right now.
I have 3 also.
I have St. Louis, Colorado, Winnipeg. I know I had Winnipeg miss the playoffs.
I don't.
I had St. Louis missing the playoffs.
Yeah, you were.
You were honestly, I didn't think that Binnington would be this good again. I mean,
that team's just deep though.
It is deep, but boy, the Binnington just keeps proving people wrong, and it was a small sample size last year, which that's why I wasn't really too high on this kid. But
I wasn't either.
Boy, he's been unbelievable. They're 17-5-6, first place in the Central, and Colorado's as advertised, but Winnipeg, man, give Paul Maurice the coach of the year right now. I mean, this guy's done a terrific job. His defense was gutted, absolutely gutted. I
had Winnipeg in the playoffs here. I did.
I had him just missing.
I think the guarantees are St. Louis, Colorado, and Dallas. The reason I leave Winnipeg out is I worry that if injuries get to this team, which is true with any team.
Anybody though,
it's true with any team. I think Nashville still will get in though. Minnesota and Chicago are guaranteed out.
I'm saying it right now. Nashville's not making the playoffs,
and they might not. They just haven't. They've not got their mojo this year.
Their power play is either dynamite or non-existent, and their penalty kill is horrible. It's horrible.
You know though that there's 2 teams in this division that are probably in my top 3 teams to watch. I love watching Winnipeg play, and I love watching Colorado play.
And Colorado, yeah, absolutely.
God,
how can you not love watching guys like like that Rantanen comes back 5 points in his first game back. It's like, wow, this guy was out a month and didn't even miss a beat.
Colorado, they're 6 back of St. Louis, and that's going to be tough to climb 6 points, but I think they can do it.
Yeah, but eventually your own division's going to beat up on each other, and then those points will be easier to make up.
Are you mentally stable enough to take on the Pacific?
Yeah, I'll give it a shot.
Okay, let's. We got 4 teams in it right now. Edmonton, Arizona, San Jose, Vancouver holds that final wildcard spot, but this one is a jumbled mess. As I'll read off the standings here. Edmonton sits in first with 37 points. Arizona in second at 34. 3 back is San Jose at 31. Don't forget out San Jose has been 8-2-0 in the last 10.
They're like 13 in the last 15.
I know. Vancouver sits at 30 points. Vegas sits at 30 points. Calgary sits at 30 points. Anaheim at 26. LA at 24. Let's look at our predictions. Let's not.
For real. For real.
Oh, they're not good.
Not very
But
good.
you know what? It doesn't really matter, Blake. We're going to give ourselves a freebie on this one.
Yeah.
Because they're all within 3 points.
Yeah,
the whole division is.
Like,
so,
this division could literally flip upside down in the next week.
I got to chew your ass about something.
What?
You have said all year long, oh, it's because the Pacific sucks. I don't think the Pacific sucks. I think if you look at the other divisions, I think the Atlantic sucks, and I also think the Metro sucks. What's the difference?
The Pacific has surprised me this year.
Huh?
I didn't expect them to be this competitive.
Okay.
I didn't think all these teams would be, I thought there'd be a little more separation from 8 to 5.
So let me ask you this. Who are your guaranteed outs?
LA, Anaheim, Arizona. JK, Arizona. Will
Guaranteed outs.
Guarantees out, just probably Anaheim and LA.
That would be my 2.
Yeah.
Who's your guaranteed in?
I'm going to say Edmonton. I'm going to say they're making the playoffs.
I'm going to say none right now.
I'm going to say Edmonton.
There's no guarantees.
Edmonton is going to make the playoffs. I've come to realization that they're just going to make the playoffs.
I think they will, but it's not guaranteed in my book.
Yeah, I mean, safe bet by you so you don't look like an idiot, but I'll go on record saying that Edmonton will make the playoffs.
Because your predictions are so jacked.
The bottom line is, the fact is, Brad, that McDavid and Draisaitl are just too much to handle. I mean, Vancouver did a hell of a job trying to contain the two-headed monster the last couple games, and they held Draisaitl pointless and Saturday night, and you know that's extremely tough to do on back-to-back nights. So, I mean, they got a split with them, and I'm happy with that.
I think teams that are going to struggle to get back into this are Vegas and Calgary.
Yep.
I think Vancouver's got issues.
Vancouver is going to benefit a lot from 10 of the next 14 at home.
Do you want to know what? You want to know something? Vancouver, Vegas, and Calgary. Their future is going to be dictated by the Arizona Coyotes. Those teams are going to struggle to make it if Arizona doesn't sputter.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think San Jose is going to make the playoffs either.
I do.
I don't.
I do.
If they do, it's wild card. I don't think they're going to hold on to that third
cares,
spot. But you know, what a turnaround it's been for that hockey club, right? I mean, they were absolutely dead in the water. What, they were 4-11, and now they're 15-12. They're getting some timely goals. They're blowing teams out of the water.
Goaltending's good.
It has been good as of late, but I still don't like their goaltending. Not a Martin Jones fan.
Who do you
never have been.
I don't. I've always thought he was halfway decent. I'm not a big Dell fan, but I don't know. I look right now, and you know what team I think? If I had to pick it right now, my top 3 in this division come the end of the year: Edmonton, San Jose, and Calgary. Vancouver 4, Vegas 5.
Wild card?
Arizona 6. That's so stupid for me to even say
If
that.
I had to pick a top 3, it would probably be Edmonton.
I don't think Edmonton's going to win the division.
Edmonton, Arizona.
You do just said a minute ago that Arizona was going to fall out.
No, they'll make the playoffs.
Blake's changing his mind, but he's like half female over here. He's changing his mind.
I'm thinking more. Edmonton, Arizona, Vancouver.
You want to know something, Blake? You can think all you want.
And Vegas.
I think right now we could throw all these teams into a hat.
Seriously.
And draw them out better than me and you can predict.
Yeah.
This is going to be by far the most fun division to watch down the stretch.
Yeah. Well, if teams like Calgary can figure it out. And Vegas can figure it out. I mean, Fleury is away from the team right now. Unfortunately, his father passed away, and condolences go out to his family, and a tough time. Like Jacob Markstrom is going through the same thing right now. He just returned back to Sweden to attend his father's funeral. But hopefully Malcolm Subban can hold down the fort while he's gone.
I don't know if I want him holding down anything in my forts, do you?
No, but I
don't think you have a choice right now, do you?
I don't.
God. I don't know. So far, our predictions don't look good, Blake.
Well, our Atlantic ones look a little realistic, but
we don't look real good. We'll both admit it, right? All right. Let's go around the league, talk about some different situations in the league.
Sure.
Almost all of them are on ice stuff, which is
great.
Good.
Great news.
Okay. Taylor Hall. Boy, there's been a lot of talk about him on the trade market. Do you think it happens before trade deadline?
It is going to happen because I think a team is going to get desperate to make a move like Montreal.
Okay, so what's your timetable? When does this happen?
I think it's going to happen in the next 2 to 3 weeks. I think Montreal is going to pull the trigger on this one. I think.
Who are the teams you think are most likely? Because I have a totally different team that I think is going to get him.
It's not Edmonton, is it?
No.
Okay, Elliot Freeman's crazy for even.
No, he's not.
I think he's crazy.
He knows his stuff.
I know he knows his stuff, but it's just like I can't see. What are they going to give up?
First rounder.
That's it? There's no way.
For a rental? There's no guarantee you're getting him to sign.
$6 million?
For the rest of the season, it's prorated down.
I know, I get that. But I think
okay, so let's before
the deadline, I think it's more than a first round pick. It's going to cost.
You're going to give up, but there's no guarantee you sign him. I'm not giving that up as a general manager. I think that's a bad business decision.
A first round pick?
If you don't have a guarantee of signing him.
Well, that's why I think Montreal is going to go all in on this guy, because I think he will re-sign in Montreal.
But you don't have that guarantee. You can't talk to him.
Well, you have a little window.
You do not. You can't talk to him now. Before a trade, you can't say, hey, would you sign with us?
Well, I mean...
So you're going to give up 2 first rounders?
No, 2? No.
Well, that's what the asking price is right now.
Montreal could trade a guy like, let's say, a first round pick. Dare I say Ryan Poehling?
Oh, jeez. Ryan Poehling?
I don't know.
Why on God's green earth would you give that up?
For an MVP?
You don't even know if he's going to re-sign Blake.
You have over a half a season to pitch to this guy.
What's the pitch in Montreal?
It's one of the best atmospheres to play in all of Canada, all of the NHL.
Yeah, it's also one where the media is breathing down your neck and driving you crazy every second.
Yeah, but when
a lot of players don't like that.
When you're good, but they got a good young core there. You got an elite goaltender, Carey Price. You got a guy like Shea Weber. You got a young core up front. I mean, who wouldn't want? That's a perfect situation for Taylor Hall to go to.
So I'm not saying it's not, but let me get this straight.
Montreal.
So you're the GM, right?
Yeah.
You have balls that big.
Yeah,
to lay down a first rounder.
Mike Bergevin has to do this. Has to.
What if he doesn't re-sign?
8 in a row since 1940.
Okay. So you're going to knee-jerk it, and you're going to pull off this trade, and then what if Taylor Hall says, so Taylor Hall's...
He's a Canadian boy. I think he would resign.
So let me ask you this. So then you go to the first round, you make it to the first round of the playoffs, and you get ousted in 4 games, and then he says, well, piss on it, because I can get more money.
Can you, though?
How much are you going to pay him?
Montreal's up cap. He's worth 10.
Oh, I'm not giving anybody 10. I'm not giving Taylor Hall $10 million.
9 to 10. Yeah,
I'm not.
You wouldn't give him $9 million.
For how
He's
long?
getting 6 right now. And he just won the MVP.
2 years ago, he was junk last year.
He's hurt. He's hurt last year.
So you're
And
willing.
he's playing on a dog shit team right now. Can you blame the guy for not producing? He's got no line mates.
So I'm just trying to get this straight.
If you put
I'm just trying to get this straight,
If you put Taylor Hall with Jonathan Drouin when he comes back and Brandon Gallagher, it's one of the most. That would be one of the best lines in hockey. So I'm serious. They miss Jonathan Drouin right now.
I'm not saying they don't. I'm just saying.
Jonathan Drouin was
Blake
going.
I'm not even questioning.
They're winning
that.
games.
All I'm saying is, you're willing to lay down that risk with no guarantees that he resigns.
Yes.
Holy shit.
Yes.
I bet you right now, everybody in New Jersey is like, God, I wish this guy was GM.
No. I'm serious. If you're a guy like Mark Bertrand, I don't give a shit if you're hosting the draft or not. You got to make a move.
I could care less about that too.
You gotta make a move to get this team out of a rut, and no better thing to do than go out and get a elite winger when you have not much depth on the left side as is.
Had a price tag that high.
I don't care.
Okay.
Montreal's got to do something, and this is the perfect. New Jersey is literally giving this to you on a silver platter. A first-round pick, you can have Taylor Hall.
You're not getting him for a first. They already said that.
Yeah, okay. Throw in a couple prospects in. Fine. They have a lot. They have a good system.
So what other teams are in contention for this then? Because I know where I think he will go. As a rental.
Well, he has no say. Does he have a no trade clause?
No. So I'm just saying.
He doesn't have a say.
Yeah, no, I think I know the team that'll end up getting him.
Who?
Colorado.
And they can actually afford him if they wanted to.
Yeah.
I think he would want to sign there.
Why do you say that? You don't know him.
Who wouldn't want to play with Nathan McKinnon and Rantanen and all
I know it, Blake, and I agree with you. I agree with you completely. But these players are goofy, man.
No, I know. I get
Sergei
that.
Bobrovsky wanted to go play in Florida, for God's sakes.
Yeah. I mean, let's not even go there, man.
Do you know what I'm saying, though? But
what
these guys are goofy. These guys are goofy.
But state-free tax.
No, it's not even
That's
that.
why. That's a big factor.
Bobrovsky doesn't want to be in any spotlight.
That was a big factor in why Steven Stamkos stayed in Tampa Bay and didn't go to Toronto. That was a huge factor.
That, and he also knew that Tampa Bay was way more talented than Toronto.
True, but that was a huge factor.
You know
what I mean?
So did you see on Saturday night Robin Lehner freak out on this coach?
Loved it. Absolutely loved it.
Was it abusive?
I mean, he's pissed. I mean, the team absolutely hung the guy out to dry. I mean,
so similar to when Babcock freaked out on Franzen?
We don't know what he said though. We don't know what he said.
I know.
We don't know what he said word for word. But I mean,
I'm just saying
he's pissed that he's obviously pissed. He let in 5 goals. He got hung out to dry, and I love that emotion from my goaltender.
I love that emotion. Yeah. I love it. I'm just afraid that we're not going to be able to see that anymore in hockey.
I mean, like Elliot Freeman said, like, I'd be more pissed if he came in and sat down. But, but whatever. I just let in 5 goals.
Completely agree.
You know what I mean?
Completely agree. But what I'm saying is, why is it okay for the player to do it?
It's just heat of the moment. He's pissed.
I know. Heat of the moment when frickin' Peters hit the volume button on the radio too. All right, moving on. You get my point, Blake? You get it. I think you get it. All right, let's talk about your Montreal Canadiens, and you're going to tell me how the Montreal Canadiens are going to make the playoffs, because Carey Price is not looking great. Even though I will not pin...
It's not even Carey Price's fault, though. I mean, against the New Jersey Devils, they gave up 13 odd-man damn rushes.
I don't disagree.
Like, hey, as a goaltender... I have never seen Carey Price so pissed off. He broke his stick over his knee, and he's just a frustrated guy right now. He played really good last night, and he deserved a better fate. I mean, they scored 2 power play goals.
I don't pin that one on him at all.
No, he played really good. I watched the whole game.
Like, that's kind of what I was hitting at earlier in the show, is that I don't...
You want me to...
the root of the problems in Montreal...
It's self-inflicted.
Are deeper...
In the decor. It's the decor.
But they're deeper than just Taylor Hall fixing it.
That would go a long way, though. I mean, they're scoring goals, but they're just their D zone coverage has just not been good. They're giving up too many on-man rushes. But the biggest bright spot from this, Brad, you want to know what it is?
Yeah.
Carey Price had the same struggles last year in November and had a 9.58 the next month, 9.24 the month after that.
I know.
And
tough to repeat though.
He did this the last 2 years in the month of November, and he looked good last night for the first start of December. And I think Montreal will figure this out. Carey Price is too good to be struggling like this. 5 goals again, or 24 goals against his last 5 starts.
I don't think this is him. I just look at the roster and I just don't think it's deep enough.
Well, the thing is
Philip Deneau your number 1 center?
They're hurt right now. Their number 1 center's hurt. It's Jonathan Drouin. That's their number 1 center.
I know, but is that a whole lot better?
Yeah. Look at Jonathan Drouin when he's in the lineup. He's a difference maker this year, and Paul Byron's an elite penalty killer.
I like Paul
They
Byron.
missed him. You probably would not want him in Calgary right now. But no, I mean, he's a force. He's one of the fastest players in the NHL, and he's out long term too. So Montreal will figure this out, and they'll make the playoffs.
So Cody Ceci comes out this week with a tweet or a comment, I guess it was tweeted out.
Yeah.
I absolutely loved it.
Ugh.
He says, bought in right away. You're like,
Yeah.
he said, guys, the guys have just started working harder again. They get up for games. They're a little bit more excited to play than they were in the past. And sometimes when change happens, that happens. We're not any different of a team.
No, I mean that's the truth. I mean, like I said, Babcock lost the dressing room. We everybody knows this. You don't even have to be a crazy hockey fan to know that the Babcock lost the dressing room. And when you get changed, you get a guy who's open minded like Sheldon Keefe, and like Morgan Riley just got taken off the first unit power play, and Tyson Barrie has taken his spot. So I mean, their power play is not really working, and he's open to make changes. Babcock wasn't, and the Leafs are 4-1 under Sheldon Keefe.
Long-term success or not?
It's a step in the right direction.
I agree.
So, I mean, we'll see. It's a small sample size with Mr. Keefe, and it's good for hockey if the Leafs are successful. It is.
Watch out, Lightning's going to hit us.
Especially Canada. I mean, when the Leafs are good, TV goes up and the NHL makes more money. That's the bottom line.
You're right. Did you see...
when the Leafs are good, the whole league benefits from it. That's facts.
You know what's funny, though?
I mean, am I wrong?
No, you're right. The league has had the most profitable years in the last 5-10 years, and the Leafs have sucked. Clayton Keller, scary incident the other night.
James the Vegas line, walks it towards the slot. Hard to thread the needle, but the net came loose behind Subban.
Oof.
Yeah.
Net came loose. Why? Because
the pegs aren't drilled in. And
no, it wasn't anything wrong with the net.
Well, I mean, but if it's 20 years ago, it's a broken leg.
It was between his legs. That's more than that was a.
Yeah, but the nets used to be drilled in pretty good. Now it's just a little rubber peg, and the nets pop off easy.
The reason I even brought this up,
yeah,
is because I remember, and I don't know if you'll remember this, but the nets used to have an inside metal piece that went up the middle, and that impaled up someone's rear end.
No.
Yes, that's why that was changed. He slid in to the net, and it went and impaled into a rear end. That is why.
What was this? The 80s?
Yeah, that is why that was taken out, and there's nothing in the back of the net. That's the only reason I brought that up. It just made me cringe, huh? Puljujarvi and Honka, the deadline is passed. No moves. They're ineligible to play in the NHL the rest of the season. Is that surprising?
No, I thought they might have worked out a deal with Honka. I mean, they had some movement, but Puljujarvi was... I was listening to Ken Holland on After Hours, and he said that, he worked the phones a little bit in the early months of the season, nothing bit, and he's content with letting him finish the season in Finland, and hopefully he has a change of heart next season.
So let me ask you this.
Well, why? I don't know what else I can say.
No. You did. That's good. Honka, is he... what is he doing?
This guy requested a trade, and he had, 7 points last year? I mean... yeah, it's definitely...
who's his agent?
Definitely a bizarre...
who's his agent?
I mean, give him a raise.
Is he drinking or something? I think this is a good idea here just to sit out now, because you know what? Next year, guess what? Nobody is going to care about Julius Honka. Right?
3 questions?
Yeah, let's get out of here.
Inside Edge Hockey News, faking the slapper and going top shelf.
It's time for 3 questions.
My turn this week, Blake. You had last week.
You got 5 for me?
Nope, 3. 3 questions. I don't mind my questions tonight, to be honest with you.
They better not be about Peters.
No, I'm done.
All right. Thank God. I listened to your Flames
you ready?
podcast.
It's good.
It's all right.
You ready? Question number 1. Do you think the NHL should play games on holidays?
Yeah, I do. I think there should be actually Christmas games.
You think it's fair to the players? See, I've always kind of seen...
It's not necessarily fair to the players, but I mean, NFL does it. NBA does it.
NFL only does it if it's on a Sunday.
Yes. Okay, that's fair enough. But NBA is 4 games, which is cool. I mean, I like waking up and watching some NBA on Christmas, and I think it'd be a cool addition if the NHL did it. It's open-minded and a little bit off the board, but I think it'd be kind of cool.
Here's my opinion on it.
Because they obviously don't play on American Thanksgiving.
I think they do too.
Oh, yeah, there's one game. That's right. There's one game.
There was more than one game. They have a Thanksgiving Day game that day.
You sure?
Let's pull it up.
I'm going to look.
I know there was more than one game.
There was only one game.
Oh, whatever. I don't know. I didn't look.
One game, Thursday.
Okay.
Devils in Montreal.
Okay.
One game.
Friday was a Thanksgiving Day game anyway. Okay.
Yeah.
That aside, here's my opinion on it. Selfishly, I would love it if they played because I would love watching it on a holiday. But I also have great respect for the league that cares about their players and lets them be home with the families.
Yeah.
I think it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I think it's pretty cool. Mm-hmm. Question number 2. And this is something we talked about last week. What 2 goalies are the best under a $7 million salary cap?
You should have told me this. I was talking.
No, why was I going to tell you this? No, you named them off to me on the ride home from Brandon.
Who did I say?
It doesn't matter, though, because you named off 2 starters that are just good salaries. And I don't disagree with you. But I started to think about it, and I thought, I wonder how many tandems.
I'll take Demko Markstrom.
I think that might be the best.
I like that tandem.
But is it? And it is under $7 million. It's at 4.7. Mm-hmm. Do you know? I pulled this up, and there's over 15 teams that are under $7 million for 2 goalies. Mm-hmm. I think Vancouver's probably got the best tandem under
7 mil. Yeah,
probably currently.
Yeah,
currently. You want to know what the tandem in Montreal is getting paid?
11.75.
12.25.
Yeah.
Chicago, $11 million.
Yeah.
God, I just can't imagine putting out that much for goaltenders.
How much is Vancouver's?
Vancouver's
it's like
4.716.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm just gonna little plug here. I don't think Calgary's is too bad at 5.5.
No, it's not bad at all.
So okay, final question. Now we got a listener question.
What is it?
I think you'll like this one. If you were GM of the Vancouver Canucks, how would you handle the future of Canucks goaltending, taking into consideration pending UFA status and Seattle expansion?
Yeah, this is obviously a very tough situation because Seattle probably will end up taking one of our goaltenders.
You know what, though? I think that too. But a lot changes in 2 years, though.
Yes. And
Caden Primo?
No.
Carey Price?
Oh, okay.
You don't know.
He just got called up today, too.
I know, but you don't know.
Here's the thing. Markstrom's 29. Demko's 24.
Yep.
So in 2 years, Demko will be 26 and will be ready to take over that starting job.
Yep.
So what I would do is I would sign Markstrom to a 2-year contract.
He won't sign for that.
2-year contract.
He won't sign for that.
That's $7 million per.
And then you got to add on your Roberto Luongo factor, and he's a $10 million goalie.
Well, I mean, you give him low like kind of the similar thing they did with Alex Edler this year.
I think you're going to cap screw yourself next year.
Well, no, because they got guys like Louis Eriksson will be off the books in 2 years. Baertschi's $4 million will be off the books. Edler's $6 million will be off the books. So they'll have plenty to.
But you got to replace those players, and you got to pay Pettersson. You got to do all this.
Yeah,
I mean,
but you're going to have Jet Wu coming up in a couple years. He's going to be a defenseman on the back end. You're going to have Olli Juolevi come up. You got Michael DiPietro coming up in the system.
So you're good with letting Markstrom go?
I think I'll be fine with letting Markstrom go in 2 years.
But if he'll be a UFA, you can't.
2-year deal. The expansion draft's not for another 2 years.
I know. Then he's a UFA. So now
in 2 years.
Yeah. So who are you going to expose then? Demko?
No, you don't have to expose anybody because DiPietro won't be eligible to be exposed.
That's true.
So you'll just protect Demko. So, like, I mean, nothing will happen.
So, okay. I like your thought process, but why would Markstrom sign for 2 years?
Because he's going to get a higher AAV, and I think he'll take that.
I don't. I think his agent would. I think his agent will say, "Well, why can't we test the market and get 4 years at $6 million?"
I mean, I don't think.
Oh yeah, someone will give him 4 years at $6 million.
At $6 million?
Hell yeah.
I don't know.
If Price is getting 12,
he's getting
or 10
and a half. But
you're not going to give Markstrom 6?
I don't know.
I like Markstrom.
It's definitely a tricky situation on the Canucks' hands in the next couple of years.
I would love it. Calgary gave him $6 million. I'd be like, yeah.
I mean,
for 4 years, I wouldn't want to go over 4. But if it was 6,
he'd be on the wrong side of 30 if he did that.
I'd be like, heck yeah, man.
But I'm content with the Canucks goaltending right now. They got a good system.
I know, but
they got Demko, Markstrom, DiPietro coming up.
I just heard a conversation about this week. And then when they brought in the Seattle expansion, I'm like, that's another twist that's going to play a role in this whole thing.
Yeah.
Listener question from Eric Bartnick via Facebook. Who should be the next captain of the Detroit Red Wings?
Dylan Larkin.
He's adamant that it should not be Dylan Larkin based off the amount of plays that he quits on. So, I think it'll either be Anthony Mantha or Dylan Larkin.
It's going to be Dylan Larkin. Quits on.
I
he's
think
one of the fastest, hard-working guys in the league. I don't think he quits on much plays. I mean,
William Nylander does.
He's been better as of late, though. He's turned it around a little bit. I've kind of been impressed with him. Changed his number to 88, and he's next Lindros.
Oh.
Just kidding. But I think it'll be Dylan Larkin.
Have you seen the plus-minus on Anthaseo?
I don't pay attention to plus-minus. It's the most useless stat in the league.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
No, it's
you
not.
can literally step onto the bench and you're a plus or you're a minus. You can come off the bench on a change, step onto the ice for 3 seconds, and they score and you're a minus. What? Are you serious?
Yeah, I know it.
It's the most
I know that,
useless stat ever.
But there's a lot of truth to
you
defensive play on it.
You score in the power play, you don't get a plus-minus. Why?
Because you're short. They're short a guy.
Doesn't matter.
Because then the guys in the power play would all have high plus minuses.
Well, so
right? And should you penalize the poor guys on the penalty kill and give them a minus?
It's such a useless stat, though.
I don't think so. I think
is
it's pretty.
You don't go. Oh yeah, I'm going to give this guy $7 million. He was a plus 26. They don't do that.
I think it's pretty important.
I don't know. I don't think so.
We argued a lot today. That's good. Do you like arguing, Blake?
It depends.
It was pretty good today.
Yeah.
I'm surprised you didn't freak out more about the Canuck. I thought they would freak out about the Seattle expansion, but
no. I mean,
it's
it's going to be a tough situation.
It is.
I mean, but like the thing, let's talk about Seattle for a second.
It's going to be tough for all 30 teams.
Well, it's really not going to be that tough because they're going to look at Vegas and be like, okay, we're not going to give this guy not to take this one guy. They're just going to give him one player. They're not going to go, oh, yeah, to take David Clarkson, we'll give you William Karlsson. That ain't going to happen no more. The teams learn their lesson. They're going to say, okay, we're not going to make this team super good out of the chute. We're going to give him one player only. We're not going to give him any first-round picks.
You know what's scary, though? Like when we looked at Vegas's roster, we were like, ooh, this team's going to suck.
And then they went to the Cup.
I know. We all did, though. We all looked at it and was like,
yeah. Ugh. They had a lot of guys that broke out.
It just shows, though, like how on paper things can look so deceiving.
But like I said though, like I don't think that Seattle's going to have as good as team because they're just not going to get the pieces like Vegas did.
Yeah, no, I'm with you.
Ready to get out of here?
I think so. Can we be done talking about Peters and all this other stuff?
Well, I would have been good with not even talking about him.
I know. I think we needed to address it. I think we both had some valid points.
Yeah.
In no way do I think what Peters did was right at all, and I just want our listeners to know that.
Yeah.
But I also think that there's always, especially when it's that long of a time frame. I'm not saying that makes him exempt for responsibility. I just think that in society, some things get blown up. I don't know. I question why, when it was dealt with back then, why it's an issue now.
Yeah.
But that being said, there's nothing we can do. I don't think racism is right in any place, in any profession, whether it be a coach, a player, or whatever. And one of the things that bothers me the most about whether it be the Don Cherry firing or this or anything is the fact that hockey was always kind of my escape from the reality and the difficult times in the world and society and the negatives of society, whether it be physical abuse, sexual abuse, racial abuse, any of those things. It was kind of my escape. And now I feel like when those things filter into my escape, it frustrates me. Because when I needed to escape... I mean,
hockey's kind of becoming like a more political based bullshit, and gotta watch what you say, everything you do, and just let the people play. I mean, it's just like
it used to be, you see so much negativity in society and social media. Hockey used to be my spot where, I sat down on the couch, I turned my TV on, I can block out all the negativity and focus on a fun hockey game. Yeah. And when
stuff gets brought into the game,
when it gets brought into my little escape, it frustrates me, and I get emotional and I get aggravated and worked up about it.
Yeah.
Blake and I are not racist.
No.
One of my best friends is a black man, and he's a great guy. And I just want equality for everybody.
Yeah.
Whether you're black, white, whatever. Yep. I want equality for everybody. Mm-hmm. Make sure you follow us on Twitter at Debate Hockey. Check out our Facebook page of the Debate Hockey Podcast. We are going to do some more Facebook Lives, I promise, even though we kind of screwed the last one up, Blake, but we're going to get it figured out here. Check us out on iTunes. Rate and review us. We really would appreciate that. And make sure you check out our sponsor, UBGM.
Wouldn't it be incredible if there was a daily fantasy sports app that was built for hockey and not just an afterthought to football and other sports? We are excited to introduce UBGM.com, the first hockey-centric daily fantasy app. UBGM will be launching later this fall and needs your feedback. Expert, casual, and new players welcome. Sign up at ubgm.com/thedebate to become a VIP member. Get connected. The Debate Hockey Podcast can be found on Twitter at Debate Hockey. Also, make sure you check us out on our Facebook page, The Debate Hockey Podcast. Brad Burud can be found on Twitter at Brad Burud, and co-host Blake Friars can also be found on Twitter at Friars_Blake. If you like what you hear, please rate and review us on Apple Podcast. The Debate Hockey Podcast can be found on all major podcast players. And please consider subscribing to the Inside Edge Hockey News on Patreon. That'll get you exclusive content and much more. Thanks again, and enjoy the hockey action.
Kevin Bieksa had come up and had a word with Westgarth a moment ago, and now Bieksa is going to face off against Westgarth, so the defenseman moves up for the Canucks.
Tortorella at the Vancouver bench is already looking at the Calgary bench.
Line brawl to start this game.
Thanks so much for listening to this episode of the Debate Hockey Podcast with your host, Brad Burud. For more great content and to stay up to date, visit InsideEdgeHockeyNews.com and on Twitter at InsideEdgeHOCKE and Facebook at Inside Edge Hockey News. We'll catch you next time.
This has been a production of Inside Edge Hockey News Radio, copyrighted and distributed by the Inside Edge Hockey Media Group.